Hey guys, Mike from CCTV Camera Pros here. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate our new Viewtron Auto Tracking PTZ camera. It's the 4K PTZ camera that you see mounted there behind me. And in this video, I want to show you how the AI software can detect cars and trucks as they enter and exit our plaza here and track them while they're in the camera view. Now, again, this is a 4K PTZ camera, so I highly recommend that you watch this video on a 4K monitor or TV and make sure that the video player is playing the video back at 4K resolution. Otherwise, you're not going to see the truly amazing resolution that this camera has. You'll at least be able to see the auto tracking, but again, if possible, watch this video on a 4K monitor. So we're now on the Viewtron NVR that the PTZ camera is connected to, and I wanted to just show you how this is set up. So if I go into the main menu and select AI event, and then navigate to the perimeter detection, I'm going to select the IP PTZ832 that I'm using, and then I set up an intrusion zone. So you can see the intrusion zone there that I have set up, and then it's important that the PTZ is locked and that trigger track is checked. Next, I'm going to go over to camera and then select smart tracking. And then again, I'm going to select the 4K PTZ that I'm demonstrating. And it's important to have the PTZ auto tracking priority set in this dropdown. And then this still time configures how long you want the camera to stay on an object if it's still within the view, if it's not moving around. So then I'm going to go back to the live view of the PTZ, and you can see it's already tracking this SUV that just came into our plaza, and that SUV just stays still there for a while. So I'll switch to when that SUV was leaving, and it enters the detection zone again, and the PTZ begins auto tracking it as it's exiting the plaza. And you'll see here that even after the SUV makes a right-hand turn onto the fairly busy street that's in front of us, it continues to track it until the vehicle goes out of view. And then when it goes behind those trees right there, it's out of view, it loses it, so then it's going to return back to the home position. And then here's another car that enters the plaza, and it's going to track that one coming in. Pans over to the left, and although I am demonstrating vehicle detection and auto tracking in this video, I'll make another video after this to show you the human object detection and the auto tracking PTZ. It tracks humans just as well, so I'll do that in the next video. This one's going to be just car detection and car tracking. So this is an interesting situation here. So it's tracking this Amazon truck, and the reason why I wanted to show you this segment of video surveillance is another car passes by while it's tracking this truck. So a lot of customers have questions. Well, what happens if there's two objects at the same time? It'll continue tracking the first object until it's out of view. It doesn't interrupt that autonomous PTZ tracking if another object comes in view. So you'll see here in a minute that truck is going to go out of view in a minute, but it's still tracking it as this blue Tesla drives by. That's actually Greg driving by. And you'll notice it's not tracking the Tesla. It was still tracking that truck, and it goes back to the home position. Now, when Greg comes back through, it's going to detect him coming through the intrusion zone, and it'll detect him until he parks right out in front of our unit here. But there's another thing interesting that I want to point out that answers a common question that we get about this auto tracking PTZ. So it's still tracking Greg's car. When Greg gets out here, it's not tracking Greg. It only is going to detect cars and humans in that detection zone. It's still fixated on Greg's car actually right here. Guys, I hope this video has been helpful. I want to mention a few things before I wrap up. In the last video I did with this 4K PTZ camera, I showed you how I was able to manually zoom in on a truck that was over 500 feet away from where the camera is installed and read small text on the side of the truck totally clearly. So I want to mention that you can, in addition to the auto tracking PTZ functionality, you can manually control the pan, tilt, and zoom of this camera on the NVR using a mouse, also remotely from the mobile app for iPhone and Android, and the desktop software for Windows and Mac. That camera is IP67 rated, so it will hold up extremely well in even extreme environments. It's extremely humid and rainy down here in South Florida, and the camera will hold up perfectly fine. It'll also do well in cold weather environments where there is snow. Now, it's a fairly big camera, so most of the time we're selling these to commercial locations and government installations, but for big residential houses, like houses with land where you want to cover a big area, we do supply these for higher end residential and big ranch type houses as well. If you have any questions about anything related to this 4K PTZ camera or anything in general related to security camera systems, you can contact me directly anytime at mike@cctvcamerapros.net. If you want to learn more about this 4K PTZ, please visit www.cctvcamerapros.com/4K PTZ. Thank you for watching.